Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down everything we saw from Phoenix Raceway. All three series had their final championship races, so we're going to break down the champions from each series. But before we hop into it, just want to remind you guys, hit that like button and subscribe button. And you can also check out our social media pages, which are linked in the description down below. And as always, I have my friend and co-host Matthew join me on the show, decked out in his Kyle Busch gear for one final time. But unfortunately, we cannot start off this episode without first recognizing the whole Joe Gibbs Racing family, as Coy Gibbs unexpectedly passed away Saturday night. So our thoughts and condolences are with the entire Joe Gibbs Racing community as they go through this loss. But just want to throw that out there. We always want to start with the most important thing, and family is obviously the most important thing. So just want to throw that out there before we hop into the episode. But Matthew, how you feeling after everything that we saw this weekend from Phoenix for all the championship races?
Well, I do want to give my thoughts and prayers to the Gibbs family as well. I feel so bad for Ty Gibbs right now because, he literally just won the championship. And then the next day that happened. And I feel really bad for him. I feel bad for Joe Gibbs. I know everyone in the JGR 2311 camp was raised to heavy hearts today. And I just, thoughts and prayers go out. And I feel so bad for Ty Gibbs right now. But yeah, this was a amazing championship weekend, and cannot wait to dissect it to that.
All right, so we're going to start off with the Truck Series. Zane Smith won the championship in an overtime restart over Ben Rhodes and Chandler Smith. I don't even think Zane Smith restarted on the front row. I think he restarted third on that restart and passed both Ben Rhodes and Chandler Smith to go on and take the win and the championship. So huge congratulations to him and Front Row Motorsports over there. And in the Xfinity Series, it was Ty Gibbs in a dominant fashion. Went on to win the Xfinity Series race and the championship over there. And obviously, unfortunately, later that night, his father did pass away. I am glad that he was at least there to celebrate with Ty. There's a few pictures and everything. It's just so heartbreaking. Everybody was just in shock. But I'm glad that Coy was able to be there with his son to celebrate that championship. And heading into the Cup race on Sunday, I'll do the official, race recap. There were a lot of lasts for this race. Obviously, Kyle Busch, it was his final race with Toyota, JGR, M&M's, everybody involved over there. And it was also Tyler Reddick's final race for Richard Childress Racing before he heads over to 2311 next year. But as the race got going, Joey Logano, he started on the pole and was dominant in the first two stages. He won the first stage, and then his teammate Ryan Blaney won the second stage, but he finished right behind him. There was a caution for Landon Castle and Ricky Stenhouse in stage 2, and everybody pitted, and it was going to be really close on fuel to the end of stage 2, and that made things a little bit more interesting, probably for the better, because the racing is pretty spread out today. Chase Elliott, he actually pitted again and went a lap down and unlapped himself, but the stage 2 would end, and there was a caution for Tyler Reddick and Michael McDowell off of turn 4, and that led to another crazy restart after that, where unfortunately Ross Chastain got another victim, and it was Chase Elliott. On the restart, Chase Elliott, he tried to go low on William Byron, who's in front of him. Ross Chastain went even lower than Chase Elliott, and they both made contact, and Chase Elliott ended up going around, hitting the inside wall, pretty much ending his day. They were able to repair the car to what they could, to where he could continue, but he was a lap down and went 2 more laps down. So if you look at the replay, the in-car camera from Ross Chastain is the best angle in my opinion, because you see both of them go low, and you see Ross get really down far low, and you see Chase Elliott keep coming down just a little bit, and they just barely made contact enough for Chase Elliott to go around. And I think Chase Elliott threw the block, and Ross Chastain didn't lift. And Ross Chastain's never going to lift on a restart. He's one of the most aggressive drivers out there, and unfortunately, Chase Elliott got the worst of it. So what can you say? What can you do about it? That's racing. I think it's a little bit on Chase's spotter as well. I feel like he probably should have gotten to that quicker and saw Ross kind of going down there and say, hey, there's a car low or a car peaking low or something like that. But I know everything happened so fast. Just a racing incident, and unfortunately, Chase Elliott got the worst of it, ended his championship chances. Christopher Bell, he had an issue. He thought the engine was blowing up, but apparently that whole situation sorted itself out, and he kept on going. And there were green flag pit stops with 60 laps to go. Ross Chastain had a pretty slow pit stop, so that left it for pretty much Joey Logano and Christopher Bell to duke it out at that point. Except there was a caution with 45 laps to go, including Michael McDowell and Alex Bowman. And Brad Keselowski's car also caught on fire, another rubber buildup issue for a Ford driver. So hopefully, it seems that this is a Ford issue because it hasn't happened to anybody else. So hopefully the Fords, they can look at the next-gen car, look at those side pipes, and figure out what the problem is so we don't have this issue next season. But under that caution, Christopher Bell had a really slow pit stop because his tire changer, he got his finger caught in between the nut and the spindle. So I hope he was okay. I know I saw him with some ice on it. And also at some point throughout the race, a RFK crew member was also injured and taken to a hospital for more evaluation. So I hope he's all right as well. Pit crew members, arguably the toughest job in NASCAR, having to go over the wall, service these cars in a very fast time. A lot of things can happen. So hopefully both those crew members are all right. But that would lead to a restart with 33 laps remaining. Joey Logano and Ross Chastain were both on the inside lane, and William Byron was in between them. And Ross Chastain tried to go as low as he could again. I think William Byron learned his lesson from Chase Elliott, went all the way down to the bottom and blocked Ross. So that actually helped Joey Logano get away. Logano would eventually make his way to the lead, passing his teammate, passing Chase Briscoe, and he would hold off his teammate Ryan Blaney to win the race and win the championship, his second career championship. So looking at the results, Logano and Blaney 1-2. They were the best cars all day long, right where they finished. Ross Chastain third. You got Bell down there in 10th, and then Chase Elliott, unfortunately, down in 28th. So, yeah, Joey Logano, dominant car all day long. He deserved to win the race, deserved to win the championship. As a Chase Elliott fan, I went into the race not really having high expectations. I just wish that he had a chance to, somewhat compete at the end there. You never know with pit stops and restarts and all that stuff that he could have, maybe not finished fourth in the playoff standings. Maybe he could have finished third or second. But just to get taken out on restart like that with 90 laps to go is just unfortunate. Just wish he would have had a chance because you never know with late race situations. But glad the best car won today. Joey Logano dominated and ended up winning the race. So huge congratulations to him on his second career championship. I think it solidifies him as one of the better NASCAR drivers of the generation. I don't think he obviously doesn't get on the top 3 or top 10 list or anything, but of this generation, of this decade, of this 2 decades, I think it throws him up there in that better category since he's won 2 championships and several races now. So congratulations to him. He's still got a lot of years left in him. Maybe he can get 1 or 2 more championships and keep stacking them up. So that's all I have to say about the race on Sunday. So Matthew, what are your thoughts to everything you saw this weekend from Phoenix?
All right, so first of all, I want to give my congratulations to Zane Smith and the Front Row Motorsports team for winning the truck championship. They were the best truck. They had the best truck that night, and they were absolutely deserving. They had an amazing season. So congratulations to Zane Smith. And I also want to congratulate the Ty Gibbs as well for winning the Xfinity Championship. I mean, he absolutely deserves it. I'm especially happy, especially after today, with what happened. And also, I'm really happy that he won the championship too, because the whole week, the Junior Motorsports group decided to just keep on yapping about him. And guess what? That didn't really work out for them. None of those 3 won. So, yeah. I'm happy for Ty Gibbs as well. And now, congratulations to Joey Logano and the whole Penske group for winning his second Cup Series championship. They clearly had the best car all day today. I mean, there was no stopping at 22 unless he had a pit issue, but that didn't happen either. Of course, Ross Chastain finished second there. Well, second in the standings, but third in the actual race. I really thought he was going to get up there. It looked like he was going to, but it was clear that Logano was just maintaining his pace, basically. So, but it's still not bad, considering that it is a second year team, basically. And they made it in with one of the most craziest moves of all time, basically. So, even if they won the championship or not, it was still an amazing season for Ross Chastain. Sorry, I'm still recovering from the sickness, by the way, so I'm still not 100%, so forgive me there. As for Christopher Bell, they had some speed today, but unfortunately, they had a not so good pit stop at the end, which, I can't really blame the pit crew because they're going through a lot as well. I mean, one of the pit crew members is Gibbs, one of those pit crew members. So, I mean, they were going through a rough day today. So I don't want to just go down on them like that. But yeah. But it was still an amazing season for Christopher Bell, career year, and I think this kid's going to continue to get better over time. And then Chase Elliott, which, I don't think, he wasn't going to be up there with Logano, but he was probably up there with the second, third of the championship for some part of the race. But then that whole contact thing happened, and look, just being honest here, Ross Chastain did nothing wrong. He held his line. It's the championship race. You're not going to, just lift. He's not going to lift right there. And Chase Elliott just came down on his nose. And first of all, I'm thankful that wreck wasn't any worse because, to be honest, it could have been way worse, especially if it happened a little bit earlier. He would have hit that wall that's sticking out at the end of pit road right there. That could have been way worse than it was. So I'm thankful that did not happen. But yeah, that's on Ellie right there. He just chopped his nose basically, and you hate to see someone's championship hopes end like that, but it's just it is what it is there. So he finishes fourth. But Joe Logano had a really quiet season, to be honest. He's won 4 races this season. 5 if you include the Busch Clash in the Coliseum this year. But I feel like it wasn't really talked about much this season. So, he was kind of flying under the radar, to be honest. And, He did the job, especially since, he had 2 weeks to get ready for this race after winning Vegas. And that team executed pretty well. So they absolutely deserve it. And congratulations to them, like I said. I know the guy from NASCAR Memes IG, if you're on Instagram, he's a big Joe Logano fan. And I just want to shout him out here. Because he was actually at that race today. And he got to see his favorite driver win the championship in person, which that's always special. So, congratulations to you, bud. But yeah, that concludes the 2022 season. A lot of ups and downs this season, and this is a season to remember. 19 different winners, new teams winning like Trackhouse, 2311, Petty GMS. Seeing people getting their first win like Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe. I know there's a Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez. And we're seeing some new moves happening next year like Kyle Busch to Richard Childress, Jimmy Johnson coming back, Tyler Reddick to the 45. it's gonna be a long off season for us because we're gonna have nothing to watch on the weekends now. So let's get to the Busch Clash quick now. I'm ready for the next race weekend. But I enjoyed this season, and of course it was emotional watching the number 18 Eminem's Toyota on the track one more time today, and he did finish seventh, which is pretty good in his last time, especially since that absolute disaster last weekend. So it's gonna be weird not seeing that car at the racetrack next year. It's gonna be weird not seeing Kyle Busch in the number 18 anymore. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole big reality check for me and Reality Nation basically, and NASCAR in general. So yeah, it's a roller coaster day for all NASCAR fans today. But yeah, that's I think that's all I have to say for today.
Yeah, I have to give it to Kyle Busch and his crew. They rallied and had a 7th place finish in his final start with JGR. Good comeback based off what happened in Martinsville last weekend. And yeah, it was a fantastic year of racing overall. Obviously the next gen car, it was the first year of that, and there were several ups and downs for it. Obviously we're glad that it brought the parity that it did. 19 different winners, a bunch of drivers getting their first career win, a lot of smaller teams getting a few wins this season as well. So very good, very glad that it lived up to that expectation where it, attracted people like Trackhouse to get involved in the sport, 2311 to get involved in the sport. I think it even involved Petty GMS to buy out Richard Petty Motorsports. So very glad that the next gen car lived up to that. And obviously there's going to need to be some tweaks over the off-season. The whole one lug nut, the penalty for the wheel coming off, I don't really think that needs to be acceptable, or at least maybe just suspend the tire changer and tire carrier for one race or something. Like, it doesn't need to be 3, 4, 5 races for the crew chief and everybody and a fine and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the stuff with the rubber buildup on the Fords, the rear clip, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully NASCAR takes all this information they gained from this year and they can apply it over the off season. I know they're already doing modifying the middle and the rear clip for the car to improve safety. So hopefully NASCAR can take a look at everything and apply it for next year with a revision to the car and all that kind of stuff. But let's rate this race and get on out of here. So, I don't really know what to rate this race. Logano and Blaney, they were just so good all day long. And that's pretty much how it was for Xfinity, and at least the Xfinity Series race. Ty Gibbs was dominant almost the whole race that time, too. But this was even more of a dominant showing from Logano and Blaney. I think I saw something that he was, like, only 4 laps. He wasn't the leader of the championship or something like that. Like, it was just incredible. So I guess I'll give it, I don't know. I'll give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Not too much happened today. You could pass, which was good. Just really strung out, not too many cautions, so that's why I'll rate the race. Matthew, what are you going to rate it?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, most of it was just Joe Logano being from the Championship 4. He was pretty much unstoppable today, which, I'm totally fine with, not being a big old crazy chaos wreckfest. Which, I don't think that should be a championship race. It's everyone wrecking, basically, so I'm glad it was, the way it was, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, we don't need super wild and crazy championship races. You'd like to see all 4 drivers at the end battling it out, whether it's a green flag run or like a 20-lap green flag run or something like that. You don't need to see 3 overtime restarts to decide a championship or anything like that. But we're going to look at our fantasy points as well, and man, it was close. I don't know if you looked yet, but I checked before the episode, and oh my goodness, it was so close. So for the race itself, you got 205 points, and I got 203. And going into this race, we were separated by 4 points, and you beat me by 2. So I ended up winning by 2 points for the whole season. 6,620 to 6,618. Who would have thought after 36 races that it would have come down to 4 points, and then for me to only win by 2 points? Like, wow, that's crazy. I'm so glad that we did this like official fantasy through the NASCAR app, because it's, a lot more consistent than what we did the year before and all of that, and it's like a professional fantasy, everything like that. So I'm very surprised that it came down to 2 points. So congrats to you on a good fantasy season, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing this again next year so we can keep it more consistent, and maybe can win next year, or maybe we can get more people to join it and have 10, 15, 20 people in it and have it be a lot more competitive. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. So Matthew, what do you got to say about that, or anything else before we go ahead and wrap up our final race review of the season?
Well, prepare everyone. This is going to be probably one of the last times I'm wearing my Kyle Busch M&M stuff here. Of course, you see me wear my 2019 championship jacket. I'm wearing the 2015 championship jacket, which he signed when I met him at Martinsville. And I want to show y'all my very first championship jacket when I was 8 years old right here. I mean, this was his 2008, his first year with JGR and M&M's. I mean, you could tell this was back in the day when they let energy drinks logos on kids' sizes, which we don't see that anymore. But I just thought I might show you this, since, it's an end of an era. Might as well celebrate the history. So, yeah. We'll see what the sponsor's going to be next year, but it definitely won't be the same as the brightly colorful colors of M&M's.
All right. So maybe over the off season we'll have to do like a diecast collection video for you and for me. Maybe we'll do that separately just to show everybody what we have, because we have a lot of cool stuff, and obviously with Kyle Busch's tenure coming to a close, you have a lot of Kyle Busch stuff to show off. So maybe we'll do a video about that over the off season. But let us know down in the comments what you guys want to see from us for NASCAR content over the off season. We're obviously going to be brainstorming, doing our normal news videos if anything comes out over the off season. But give us your thoughts. There's not too much going on over the off season. We want to still try and make some content for you guys. Let us know what you want to see. We'll try and make that happen for you. But thank you for such an incredible season. A lot of our videos got hundreds of views, which is incredible for us. So we just hope to continue to grow this channel and provide you guys with our opinion on motorsports. Is what we love to do. So we'll see you guys next season for the Daytona, or actually the Clash. We'll see you guys for that. We'll preview that whenever that is ready. But don't go anywhere, because we're going to keep giving you guys stuff over the off season. But until the next time, we'll see you guys in our next video.